and relentless dedication. As an employee, you are expected to perform at the top of your abilities.
Alright, hello everyone. We got Hekigan playing Mirror's Edge Catalyst Any Person. Take it away.
Okay, I am Hekigan, and I am playing Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which is, I'll explain after I start. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's the reboot in the series, so it has all the same characters and things as the original game, but none of the story is connected. And basically we're just doing the tutorial right now. You have to go through this at the start. Fun fact here, on a worse computer you lose time because if the frame rate drops under 30 then the game slows down, so we remove this from every run that gets submitted, just to make it fair. This game has a feature where you can springboard anywhere instead of just a springboard on a set place. So we're going to be using that a lot, and there's a way to exploit that even further later with a ledge, which I will explain when we get to it. Coming up now is the first skip in the game. It's going to skip the combat tutorial. Kind of worried about it because it doesn't always work, but that seemed fine. Gonna go slow and steady with this. So I'm out of bounds now, if you didn't realize already. I'm just climbing the scaffolding to get on top of the roof that it's connected to. Usually you would drop down over here and do a wall boost over to the next part, but I want to be more safe, so I'm just gonna jump into this checkpoint here and do a death abuse, basically. Another thing to note is this game has really long loads, so apologies in advance for all of the loading screens you're going to see. You can also skip this by doing a ledge board, but I'd rather not go all the way back to the start of the game, so I'm going to be leaving that out. I'm also going to be jumping against walls and then jumping off them as the game pulls me in, which will give me a tiny bit of a speed boost. And as I do this, there's a tiny window when I hit the floor that I can jump again, and it will let me keep the momentum from the wall boost in a jump. So this is float glitch. Basically, if you stand right on the edge of something and you crouch as you walk backwards, I'm not really sure why it works, but the game just sticks you in a floating animation. And we're going to be using that to skip the entire fight sequence by putting Faith's ass through the wall, triggering the thing. And this is a visual trigger. If I didn't look up or down there, then the game would have gone into slow motion while I broke the window, which is obviously not good. I took a little detour there to stop some guards spawning here because he has a chance to knock me off the springboard as I do it. So the story of this game is something. We ended up in prison, and now we've been released and we are immediately escaping, like jumping parole, I guess. So that's why people are after us. I said earlier we can exploit springboards with ledges. We're going to do that here by just looking to the side and making the game think there's a springboard there. And that's pretty much all of release. The rest is just running with no more tricks.
I shouldn't be so surprised you got K-Sec so upset. It is your specialty after all.
Something something hardcore parkour, exactly.
Watchful for that special unit in the future. Seems they've improved their combat training.
Usually when you get here it will be daytime, but we have sequence broke like a lot of the tutorial. So now it's just gonna turn to daylight. Daylight, anyway.
Are you exploring the city?
Here if you mash too fast you can soft lock the game, so try to avoid that.
Now come on home, kiddo.
And this game uses something called a focus meter, which stops you taking more damage or something. I don't know, it's not really explained very well. But you have to fill it there, otherwise you fail, so...
I'm gonna do a quick delivery,
yeah.
so I'll catch up with you later, Noah.
And now I'll just do some wall boosts, because they give you a lot more speed than just running. You just need to get sucked into the wall and jump off before you actually hit it, and yeah.
Follow them home. And then we should see about getting you reintroduced.
Also another thing to note is, because we skipped the tutorial, we did not unlock the combat upgrade that we need, which is heavy attack. So the game would usually auto buy it for you in the upgrade system without you seeing it ever. But because we skipped it, we're going to have to skip another upgrade that we usually need and buy it with that. So we're going to come over here and get our stuff.
I think you'll like what's inside.
Because when we went to prison, one of our friends is a little bit too obsessed with us and he kept our clothes for 2 years. So the game wants us to buy this thing. Mandatorily you would buy it. But we don't have these unlocked, so we're going to buy that. Heavy attack instead of that. And we'll buy the other thing later, but the strange thing about that is we can't buy anything else until we've bought the Beat Ellie thing. And also we owe a guy money and he's angry and that's his henchwoman and she's like, give us our money or we'll break your legs, pretty much. And obviously I need my legs, so we should probably get him his money. Also known as script in this game.
I say that geezer can wait, but it's your choice. Check your map for where to find me.
Those are the jumps I was talking about, with the keeping the momentum from a wall boost.
I've been getting a few other
You'll know which one's what, because it won't make a thud sound as I hit the floor.
I got the first chip.
Great. The next relay box should be close.
So this is, for some reason if you dash off of this here, and instead of going the intended path, this guy doesn't move and you skip his introduction cutscene. And then you can just kind of like wreck him without him doing anything. Galaxy's gonna be mad at that, but
Pulled another chip.
be a bum
This'll
anyway.
make a difference, I promise you. By the way, did you talk to Dogen yet? Rumor has it you owe him a lot of script for what you
Yeah,
did.
so the guy we owe money to is called Dogen, and we owe him a lot of script.
I'm sure you can work something out. And if not, I'll come with you when you go into exile. We'll own the Grey Lands.
Nice. I fell off. I'm just gonna do this the old way. I'm just gonna to pass this mission you have to kick one into the other one.
Excellent. This'll make a difference.
What I was trying to do there was climb up to a thing and kick one into the other one, which kills them both,
Rumor has
but
it you owe him a lot of script for what you did.
I am not very good at that. So
Not yet.
Well, I'm sure you can work something out.
I'm just gonna kick the first one into the back one and then kick them off the ledge. Objective updated. And now I can just kinda guide them over here and kick them. They don't mind. They know how to fly, don't worry. We're just gonna return to base.
Got another one.
Great. Just one more and we're good for now.
Gonna try and do something similar here with kicking this guy into these vents. Nice.
Okay. I got
More chips.
Good, but we have a problem. Faith, Nomad, what's happening?
Leaving him there is a pretty big security flaw, in my opinion.
I had enough of this crap in prison.
Faith, don't get involved. I told you this is happening all the time.
She alone. What have we got? I got you covered. Breacher spot. We got a breacher subjugation.
Get out of here, dudes. Oh my god. That wasn't very good.
You're okay. I took care of them.
I saw that, Faith. Told
Ah, shit. I did a mistake. I did a very big mistake. I think. Yeah, I did. I'm gonna have to run all the way back. Don't worry though. It's only about 5 minutes gone.
You got this.
I've actually forgotten where you start the thing. I think it's over here. Up here. Don't worry about it. It's things like this happen. I walked a little bit too far and I cancelled the mission right as it ended. So
Alright. I got the first chip.
great.
yeah,
The next relay
exactly what Galaxy said. So we're just gonna do this all again.
Got movement. Fire face of consequences.
This is a major shit show.
Just pulled another
Alright.
chip.
There we go. He's dead now.
This'll make a difference,
Let's
I promise
continue.
you. By the way, did you talk to Dogan yet? Rumor has
Jeez.
that you owe him a lot of script for what you did.
Not yet.
Well, I'm sure you can work something out.
No more
Next time,
fuck ups, I
I'll come
promise.
with you when you go into exile. We'll own the Grey Lands.
We're subduing. Good copy. Plug.
Okay.
Got another one.
Great. Just one more.
I don't really know what to say now because I've already explained all of this.
You there. Finally, some action. Breacher site. Control, we have there's a breacher in our area. Copy control.
Oh. You killed the other guy.
Okay.
What do you know?
I got the last one.
Alright.
Good, but we
Now
have
we're
a
basically
problem.
back where we were.
What's happening?
Big design flaw with the chips, yada yada.
I had enough of this crap in prison.
Faith, don't get involved. I told you this is happening.
We have a policy breach control. Killing.
Try and get these guys out the way.
Breacher spot.
Sometimes if you attack too early then you just can't.
Hey, you're okay. I took care of them.
I saw that, Faith. Told you you couldn't fool me. She just helped that
There we
Lucas,
go.
Noah. Yeah. She takes after her.
Amazing. Alright.
You say that like it's a bad
Now we're gonna head over to
Keep looking for
Birdman.
those relay boxes around the city, Faith. It'll really help the outcast.
If you pause while you're being forced back down a slide, you can actually just keep going up if you use the shift key.
Figured as much. Where?
There's a dead drop with the marker on your map.
Oh! I did a bad thing again, but that's fine.
Birdman will see about getting your situation with Dogan sorted out.
Just kill myself. I'm nervous, okay? Don't bully me.
Birdman will see about getting your situation with Dogan sorted out. I'm guessing Birdman challenged you to a dash. I can imagine which one. Oh man, back in the day I ran it so many times I could do it blindfolded. One more thing,
Alright.
Faith. The marked route
Now the game's introducing us to dashes, which are this game's equivalent of time trials from the original game if you've played that. Except they're different in a way where there's a start and there's an end. There's no checkpoints in the middle. So we're just going to be trying to get through this as fast as we can, and then the game's going to go into slow motion when we hit this thing up here, so I'm going to spam backspace, try and cancel it out, and then we're going to release.
Not bad. Glad to see you still got it.
In this game, if you load a mission you've already done and then you quit, it will place you in some sort of default location for that mission. So what we're doing now is loading the initial intro and then quitting. Sorry, had to tab out and skip a split, so there's no music now. This will put us back in the main hub, where we will continue on to do Be Like Water. I'm going to be trying to wall boost and bunny hop as much as I can because it's the main speed tech in this game. This game's open world, by the way, if you didn't know already.
Where's the dead drop?
Slight change of plans. They want to use another dead drop nearby.
So I'm not really sure what this mission's about, but we do something in it.
Responding to the commotion from before. Stay focused all the way to the drop.
All I know is if you do the wrong attack key, you fail, which I've done in every marathon so far, so let's not do that this time. You only have to kill the first 3, then the rest you can just run past. Yeah, we're basically delivering something so someone can pick it up later.
You're almost there. Keep it up.
And now we're just gonna go back to the hub again using the
There. I hope it's worth all the trouble.
loading.
Worth it. You helped a lot of people today.
Why is the first person model so weird? I don't know. I think it's just the placement of the hands. They're a bit too close together. So we're just loading this and then we're gonna quit again. There's not too many of these in the run, so don't worry about that. There's just a few at the start because you can't fast travel yet. This should put us back in the hub, and then got some slow loading today. This game runs on the Frostbite engine, by the way, same as Battlefield and all of those games. It's made by a different dev team than made the original game. But this game is like heavily inspired by that, so. Or influenced, I guess. How does a wall boost work? So if you jump towards a wall, the game wants you. The game tries to assist you every time you come close to something you can interact with, like a vault or a wall. And it will add a bunch of speed to pull you into the wall. And if you do it in a certain way, you can jump off the wall while it's adding the speed to you. And that's basically the gist of that. So that's pretty much it with all the fast traveling stuff using the mission aborting. There is another one after this mission, but I'm not going to do it because I'm pretty sure it's slower in real time, so I'll just run like normal. Now we are breaking into government building to steal, I think, a recipe or an ingredient, one of the two. Although I guess a recipe is kind of an ingredient. The thing I talked about before, the ledge board, where you trick the game into thinking there's a springboard, we're going to do here. Usually we would do a trick with quick turn, but we don't have quick turn yet. So
Yeah, I hope so. Once you find the elevators, you can climb one of the shafts or free ride one of the carts up.
we're gonna take the elevator up to the top here. Very rarely you can just get kicked off of this pole for no reason, so I hope that doesn't happen. But you can just fall off while going up. And as far as I'm aware, there's no way to make sure you don't. Yeah, we're stealing a Krabby Patty. Just like the first game, there's a lot of vent crawling in this game. But for the most part, you move faster in vents and stuff.
No, I'm finishing this.
Alright. It's not like I can stop you anyway. Icarus, keep us updated on any changes.
This is one of my favorite levels, but it's not my favorite.
The less we know about that, the better.
It just has a lot going on in it, and it's very linear, which I like in games.
For some.
Pole climbing in this game is a lot faster than the original, so that's really nice.
That Faith is grabbing while I babysit her.
And sliding is a lot faster as well.
Some sort of nutritional enhancer. Raposa wants it.
I'm at the office area.
So we're just gonna make our way up here to a terminal.
H. The shotgun will do the rest.
And I don't remember what the terminal does, but it does a thing. I think it opened a door. I really don't remember, I'm sorry. Terrible speedrunner, doesn't know the lore of his game. Yeah, you can't do a roll in a shaft, that's indeed kind of annoying. So these cutscenes are just disguised loading screens, which took a while to figure out when we first started timing full speedruns of the game.
Faith, are you there?
And everyone was like, why is his time so much faster than mine?
Get out any way you can.
But yeah, one of the devs was actually nice enough to make us a text file telling us where all of the load screens are located so we could make a auto splitter and things like that. Shout outs to Slice Line, my favorite developer. He also taught us how we found a glitch and we didn't know how it worked, but he explained it to us and now we have a pretty big skip using it. So the dev team of this game was really, really good. In that cutscene I skipped, we stole some sort of like tablet, like an iPad or something, and it has a blueprint on it for a mind control something. I don't know, just like a injection, nanobytes, mind control. So now we're just running away with it, but we don't know what we have, so. Usually after this mission you would quit out and load the release just to take you upstairs, but it's slower in real time, so I'm just going to run down the hallway. And here's where we buy our first upgrades too. So this game uses an upgrade system. We have to buy this first, otherwise it won't let us buy anything else. And then we buy quick turn because it's the most useful one so far. Minecraft hacks, yeah.
What the hell, Faith?
Alright.
Good to see you too.
You keep this up, I swear you'll be dead in a month.
Up next we're gonna go meet Nomad and take down an antenna. He's now given us a mod somehow. I guess he just sent it to us through Bluetooth.
Where are you?
I got my hands on a glitch mod which should work with your beat link.
But now if we make our way over to a fan, we can
Try it out and come meet me.
we can hacker man it and make it stop.
Nice one. Thanks, Nomad. I'm on my way.
Thought you'd like it.
So that thing I just did there is called a collision boost. Same thing with the wall runs. When you're jumping towards a wall and you get sucked into it.
Guess that's
If you're running along a wall and there's a bump, it will add speed to put you around the bump seamlessly. And you can just jump as it transitions you. Gonna do a springboard here. And take these zip lines
I'll wait for
down.
you here.
Yeah.
Faith, where are you? Oh, hey Noah. Faith is helping me out with something. Again?
Is this Watch Dogs? Yes.
Sorry, but the less you know, the better.
Oops.
It's for a good cause, though. I promise.
So Nomad is up here.
Come talk to me when you're done, Faith.
We're just gonna talk to him and he's gonna be like, hey, can you go stick your hand in this massive thing? And we're just gonna go, yeah, sure.
So what's happening?
Strangely, if you use a light attack here instead of a heavy, you get teleported to this guy. Don't really understand why that happens, but it does. And also, kicking someone and getting a takedown thing is kinda long, so if you do it with a wall run first, you'll skip like a really long
I'm at the antenna, Nomad.
third person takedown.
If I just rip this out.
So we've stuck our hand in the big thing.
Shutting down.
Yeah, count one for the good guys. And K-Tech is sending reinforcements. You should clear out fast.
And now we're running to a safe house because the police in this game are pretty stupid, and as soon as you go into a safe house, you're invincible and they go away. If I jump and land on this thing here, I won't have to do a roll or a heavy landing. If I land anywhere but that little ramp, I will have to do either of the two.
They'll lose you eventually, Faith.
And that's the first use of quick turn. Now I'm also going to buy a skill roll because I need that. Yes, you can disable the hints and stuff like that. There's an option for it in their settings. But it's automatically on every time you start a new game, and it costs time to turn it off, so we just leave it on in the speedrun. Like I said before, load screens are a bit Monka-esque in this game, but it's a modern title, so it's to be expected. Now we are going to hack a grid node. Actually, no, we're not. We are going to go meet our friend Plastic, aka the best character in the game. But even more importantly than that, we're getting a new free upgrade, which is a mag rope. Luckily the devs didn't go wild with it, and you can only use it in selected places instead of everywhere.
Easy, huh? Try it a few times until you get the hang of it.
I'm going to jump on this box to avoid having to roll, and then hack that fan. Shout out to that guy's dash that he made right there. There's another one of those boosts I talked about. They're pretty precise. I'm surprised I got 2 of them actually. Doing this is a bit faster than climbing the ladder until we get the climb upgrade. And now basically that's all of the tutorials done, and we're heading to somewhere that will open up the map pretty much. There's a section here where you just have to run straight forward, so I'm going to try and get as many bunny hops as I can. That was pretty good.
As I said, plastic can be a bit.
Still on our way to Plastic, but
But I have a feeling
now we're in like the major open world. So we can stop off and do dashes or whatever we want, but we don't have time for that, so...
I'm over here.
Yeah, pretty much. The tutorial section is the, if you played the beta of this game, when they released that, like the open beta, the tutorial was all they had in there, and it ended after doing the back in the game mission. So this is Plastic we're meeting now. She's a bit strange, and her robot wants to kill us. So I'm gonna drop down onto this pole, which will allow me to get down here without dying. And then I'm gonna head to the right and take this zip line down and make my way to the Orcom building.
So, Plastic, what's the beat?
Hey Noah.
Gonna skip that springboard.
Power from the Alcon gateway. It's the only way I can break the encryption on that drive.
So something strange with this game is if there's a space small enough for you to crouch under, you can get through it by just kicking at the wall. It's really strange. I'd love to see how the hitbox reacts to kicking, but as far as I'm aware, we don't have the tools to do that yet.
I'm inside Alcon.
We use that to do a few skips. I think 2 of them use that technique. But this is my favorite skip because for some reason they left something in here and you can just grab it and then the elevator will go without you. So instead of climbing all the way up there and doing all of that, you just get a pretty precise wall in there and skip it all by hitting a trigger at the bottom. So we're just going to run up these stairs. If we run too far, we're going to get stuck in like an infinite death loop, so if you're trying this at home, watch out for that. You have to delete your save if you do. So we're going to hit that and then just go to the end and on to the next part of the game. We skipped activating a bunch of terminals and things like that. I think it saves something like 2 or 3 minutes. Here's a dash route that people have been doing for a long time, so we know ways to make it fast now, including that bunny hop and then wall boost and then all those bunny hops, but instead we split off to the left here, instead of going the normal route. Another thing to note is if you are too close to a ledge, you can't use the shift feature, which is basically you can left click and be at instant running speed. Inspired from the first game, but without the motion sickening camera jerking that you have to do. This is a grid node. You'll find these around the world and they unlock fast travel points. Basically, you just have to do them without stepping in the blue beams, so I'm going to use some movement exploits to do them kind of fast. You can do a skip here, but I'm crap at it, so I'd rather just get going because I already wasted 5 minutes at the start failing that mission. Yeah, a lot of the checkpoints and missions override the other ones, but a lot of them actually don't. So it's a pretty even amount of what does and what doesn't.
That's it?
Oh, that was strange. So that's how you hack a grid node. You just touch it and it's
In the elevator.
yeah.
On my way down.
So now we've unlocked fast traveling in this area.
What about me? I did all the work.
You too, Plastic.
Keep an eye on this building. I think it's really cool. We'll get a better look at it when I get over there. It's like one of the best looking buildings in the game, I think. Nope, never mind. Now we're just running away because we didn't want to get caught up in all of that. So we're going to run on this small little lip down here. We're just trying to make our way back to Plastic because her home is also a safe house, so as soon as we go in there, we're not going to have any police after us. Also known as KSEC in this game. I'm gonna stop here and then start because sometimes I go too fast and then it won't let me actually do a jump input because I've just come out of a crouch. And then I just fall and go all the way back, so just being a bit safe. I'll try and do another collision boost up here. It's one of the nicer looking ones. That did not help my cause. And now we are back at the Plastic home. And we have to wait for a pop-up so we can open the map and see where we need to go to next. And there'll be a little brown box in the right. There it is. And now we're going to take the side mission because we need it to do an exploit later. And it's just faster to grab it now, so we'll get it out the way. My splits are very broken right now. Alright, so we're just coming back here because the place we need to go to is right over here. And you can just run out of the mission area to cancel it. So, yeah. Basically we're collecting data fragments that look like little red orbs. Gotta be careful here because you can get locked in a walking state which won't let you run, so I'm gonna stop and... Right, that's done, and now we fast travel to the hub. We have unlocked hub fast travel, so we no longer have to go to release and skip the mission. We can just come here out of our own free will.
About the explosion, some are blaming the runners.
This is happening because of you. You started this.
Get your ego out of this, Noah.
My splits are so broken. Alright. Now we need to go and meet Dogan for the first time. He is the man we owe lots of money to, so hopefully he's a nice man and he has a crush on us or something. Another pretty long loading screen. I'm playing on medium settings. Oh, that's another reason we just did that mission there, so we can get to Dogan faster, but it doesn't work out to be that much faster on its own. We only do it because it lets us do another skip later in the game, because it's a very broken mission.
Let her in.
This is another load screen, pretty much.
Faith. To think you should humble me with a visit.
I'm sorry, I should.
Now we get a new upgrade, which is another type of mag rope, but it's a pull up instead of a swing. Have to watch this little cutscene here, and then once we got up here, the objective will update, and we can fast travel over here now because we did the grid node. That was a very fast loading screen. Alright, so now we're going to climb this building, and he basically wants us to go inside, climb to the top, and then release a giant counterweight that's stopping the building from falling over during construction. But you can probably already guess we don't have time for that, so we're going to do something else.
We have some catching
Something we like to call fire alarm prank.
Excellent. Go to the top. Release the tuned mass damper, and we're good. For now.
The tuned what?
A giant counterweight intended to make the building safe for earthquakes and hurricanes.
I'm actually going to buy the coil upgrade because I need that to do a skip here.
But not for me. It will be our instrument of destruction.
Does the Nazi really deserve this?
Are you having second thoughts, Faith? The Nazi's not exactly a force for good.
Basically, this big bad guy that's made out to be big bad and we owe him money, he's actually a pretty stand-up guy, and he doesn't like seeing good people be treated badly. So he's like a big advocate for being Robin Hood, pretty much. He takes from the rich and he keeps most of it, but he sometimes helps the poor.
You're guessing right.
And what about the
That's shit. I didn't get a big enough boost to get to the other side, which I usually do. It's not too bad though, I'm only going to spawn right here. I'll just do it the easier way instead of doing the fancy boost over the gap.
Thing will cause some serious damage.
You're guessing right.
And what about the employees here?
What about them?
Oh.
Just what I thought.
When you get stuck somewhere in this game, it's really hard to get out without like
Fire alarm should do it.
Whatever.
having a big problem.
I'm sure they'll leave obediently.
Can I get on the wall, please? There we go. Usually I boost over that gap, but kinda hecked it up a little bit. Right here we're gonna go out of bounds, because inbounds is stupid. Gonna try and roll off of here to land on this bottom ledge. And like I said before with the kicking thing, you can kick inside this vent, and this vent cover is an override trigger which will update the mission progress. So what we just did down there when we pressed the button was pull the fire alarm to make people evacuate the building before we drop the massive counterweight from the top.
Kruger is heavily invested in reflection.
But we're not going to do that, we're just going to do a skip as soon as we get up here. That's why we call it fire alarm prank, because no one actually dies and the building's fine.
I've sent out feelers to a few selected business associates.
If you've played this game, you'll know that going inside there is kind of tedious. You pull a bunch of chips and stuff like that, but instead you can just climb up here
The blueprint is more than enough as payment.
and grab this pole.
That blueprint is worth exactly nothing until one, I get it.
And we're basically going to climb up the poles that you use to escape,
It's all right.
and the checkpoint will update again with an override trigger.
And the employees are all clear of the building now.
There we go. And now we are escaping after doing nothing.
Berserk, I'm sure. We've had this discussion once already.
Fun thing about the plank that I climbed up to get high enough there
2 years ago,
is it won't work on everyone's PC. Like 99% of people it will work for, and then you get like the odd 1% guy who just doesn't have any collision on that little plank, which is very strange. And I have no idea why that would happen, but it does. But luckily there's a few ways to do that, so you don't need the plank. Gonna try and get a speedboat here by looking a bit to the right. And that's the end of the mission. As soon as we touch this thing down here, I'm gonna buy double wall run and go back to the hub. It's this one, double wall run. We go to the map, back to the hub. At this point, the guy that was like pretty jealous of us at the start, that's not the hub, that's the hub. The guy that was pretty jealous of us at the start has gone off and got himself lost. So we have to go find him because we are a lot better than he is. If we go back to the hub, there's like an easy route to get to him. Again, for anyone new that wasn't here when I explained earlier. When you do, by the way, he stood right there, but we have to go find him anyway. When you do a wall boost, when you hit the floor, you have like 3 frames, I believe, or something like that, to input jump at the right time, and you can get jumps like that. The first one. The second one I lost all the speed. You can kind of tell the difference if you pay attention. You'll notice one of them's fast and one of them's very not fast.
I know it's been rough coming back, but you're doing good, Faith. The others look up to you.
You can also do it from
Anyway, it's good that
mag ropes, but
your offer.
I don't think you get any increased speed, you just keep some speed. With a regular bunny hop you get +3 every time, I think. But yeah, we're gonna find Icarus up here.
What the hell is wrong with this thing?
By turning this crane and hearing him on the radio, because we're close enough to him now.
I think he's nearby.
Okay.
This is the absolute hardest mission in the game. It's got 2 pretty hard skips. And I hope I don't mess them up too much.
Never thought I'd say that.
Yeah, this game would be pretty good with ray tracing, but
I think the current is messing with the speed somehow.
I don't know.
First time that's happened. No access or long-range comms.
Maybe modding support for Frostbite engine will get to a point where people can just make their own ray tracing mods.
There.
I'm gonna open the map and close it so I can see in this place. It rebuilds the lighting when you do that. So I'm gonna try elevator skip once,
Back up, maybe there's an elevator somewhere. I know this is nothing like it,
but if I die then I'm just gonna take the elevator.
but prison must be like now.
These things I'm landing on are very small and it's very easy to fall off them.
Kruger 6 seems a bit stingy lately. I guess it's
Yep,
that
see. That was my fault for jumping on the wall too early after turning. So I didn't get any speed. I'm just gonna take the elevator this time because I'm already so far behind. I don't want to be doing this for a long time.
Done. You owe me one.
I do.
And I really would like to not go over estimate.
If you're looking for an easy way back up, maybe there's an elevator somewhere.
The bad thing about taking the elevator is the audio is really bad, so I'm sorry for that.
Icarus,
It's gonna get
alive and kicking.
very loud and very painful.
Back here, bull.
Noah?
Crap, Faith. All those Kruger sec, they're headed toward the lair. Being raided. We're being raided.
Noah! Say something!
Kruger sec is jamming us. We have to go back, Faith. Meet you there.
Actually,
Damn it!
the bad audio
Faster!
comes from after the elevator, so I totally just lied to you. Here it is.
Faith, I see smoke.
Enjoy that.
Stay awake. Sec is raided us. Noah, hang in there. We're coming.
Specifically this part here that just rips through your ears.
Damn it. I never thought they'd go this far. We have to
Yeah, not good.
contact Noah or the others. K-Sec
I don't know who designed that and thought, yeah, that sounds good, but nobody. It is not.
Faith, I hear gunfire. We gotta move faster.
Alright, it's over now though, so you can stop crying, I guess. Here is another really hard skip. Two of the hardest skips are in the same level, which is kind of ridiculous, but it just be like that sometimes.
We have to stop them.
The run is glitchless? No, there's glitches. I'm gonna do one right now. So I'm gonna kill this guy, and then I'm gonna kill this guy to stop me getting shot. I'm gonna try and get on this light here, which I didn't do. So I'm gonna do the backup of getting on here. And get on that little piece of thing. This skip is very finicky, that's why it's not very fun. Alright. I'm gonna go safe mode and do it from here, because I know I can do that reliably. But same thing as the start of the game, if you pause you can keep going up slopes, and this whole thing is a slope, so... And we're going to do a little springboard to get up here. And fall down onto the zipline. And now, we're supposed to be in there doing a whole fight sequence, but we don't have to do that. And if we get far enough away, the enemies will actually just despawn, and then it counts as us killing them, so... There's also another trick at the end here, which isn't too hard, but it's likely that I'll mess it up, because it's just a timing based thing. So we're just running to the safe house over here, because safe house will despawn them. I'm gonna go far enough to make sure they do despawn, and then I'm gonna come over here and stand by this chip. These are the collectibles in the game, there's like 300 or something of them. So we're going to wait for this cutscene to go, and then I'm going to count to 2 and take the chip. It might have been too early. No, it's good. So that's just going to stop it from warping us back to the place. You know what? I'll just go this way. It's going to stop it warping us back to the safe house, and we'll just be back here where we need to run to again if we were warped to the safe house. So now we're gonna immediately load that mission again.
I know where to go. You need the construction crane in downtown South, and I'll explain.
And we will use the default start location to go somewhere else a bit faster. Once the loading screen is done, of course. Alright, so skip the intro. We're not doing this level again, we're going to go off this way. And when we walk far enough away, it's just going to think, oh, they changed their mind, they don't want to do it, and it's going to cancel it. Anyone tried with collectibles? Yes, there's a guy called Mazku. He was the first one to do it. It took him like 13 hours, and then he grinded that all the way down to I think 4 hours and 15 minutes. And then since his big reign of 100% optimization, some other guy came along and he is now taking the record from Mazku by a couple seconds. But I'm pretty sure Mazku plans to get it back at some point. So now our lair's been raided and they've killed our leader that you saw at the beginning of the game. So now we're gonna go find another leader because we don't know how to think for ourselves. Gonna do another one of those kick clip things, just cause. Yeah, 13 hours to 4 hours is quite good. This door is a loading security, like just makes you open it so it can comfortably load the rest of the level down here. Now in this area it wants us to climb up to our left and hit a button to raise this platform down here. But we're going to do something called a corner wall run, where basically if you just turn the camera fast enough, you can wall run around a corner with the double wall climb upgrade. And then if we hit this one, it will override the other one and the game thinks we've done both. There's a really nice little hallway here that is fun to move through. Amazing. And now we're gonna go meet our new leader. I think her name is Rebecca Thane.
And that makes 2 of you.
So yeah, now we're gonna teleport in front of her because it's faster than running there normally.
You called?
And now we are going to destroy some sentry drones that the police have been hiding down here.
These tunnels have been ours for more than a decade. Kruger's second wisely decided to stay topside.
Gonna do that pause thing to rebuild the lighting again. Oh. I thought I went through there.
Part of an Omni-Stat
Guess not.
decontamination.
Also, I'm gonna buy the climb efficiency upgrade, because then we can go faster on ladders and pipes. Probably should have bought that like a lot earlier, but small brain.
Found the first sentry drone.
Basically, we're just gonna like push them down into a chasm, and they won't be able to get them back.
2 more to go.
It is possible to die here, but it's really rare. If anything, I'll get like a slowdown, which means I'm on 1 HP, but
Only 1 more and it's done. Keep going.
it's pretty rare.
Black November has grown considerably in the last few years. There's a lot of unrest among the low caste, and soon they will be ready to rise. Kruger's sector sending in reinforcements, Faith.
You got censored? Yeah, the bot wrecked you.
Unlimited growth, unlimited consumption, madness, and it will
You had enough of it.
fall if we don't
I'm destroying the final sentry drone now.
So that's the last drone we need to do.
very good.
And we need to go hit this button.
Operated by a console. Best way out.
I'm on 1 HP. Spooky stuff.
Midcasts have grown complacent.
But as soon as you hit the button, everyone despawns, so
Only when they've
doesn't matter. I'll fast travel back to her again. Every time I do this, I'm going to try and get a collision boost like that,
until they do, they are
because it looks really cool.
This parameter. But most importantly, one in the center.
It does have an explosive
And
personality.
an explosion there. That explosion will be our lure. That ought to keep
Speaking of, we are
I had Tristan
taking this new upgrade,
come down. It's on the table. You'll need it to get around.
and we are going to be careful when we pause, because during practice a couple days ago I found out if you spam pause there instead of pressing it like when the pop-up comes, you softlock the game. So there's that. This is the new upgrade we got. We can now pull down things. Very nice. I completely missed the springboard and just got a war instead, but that's fine. I'll do that instead. Alright, so now we are going to
deeper into the district to make my presence.
blow up a building site and kidnap a girl.
Need to be clear of sentry drones when it's
Which girl do you ask? The daughter of the big bad guy we stole the blueprint from,
avoid the
who is also like the head of the
fire and
police.
disable their control terminals directly. It's the most effective way.
So, like, we are the bad guys.
No, we are the good guys.
But we kidnap and steal.
Cut out already, Faith.
Don't worry about it.
Sentry drones here. Let's take them
It has to be done.
and be careful.
It's for the greater good. Alright, here's another out of bounds skip. Icarus has gone ahead, all cocky, and he's got himself stuck. and he wants us to go save him. But I don't like Icarus, so we're gonna go out of bounds and we're gonna leave him there.
They can't hit me, but I can't move either. You'll have to deactivate them.
He's stuck in there getting shot at by a turret, and we're just gonna... Bye-bye. Gonna go up here. I don't think I've mentioned yet, when I climb up a wall and I quick turn and then I spam space, I get more height from the wall run. So if you're wondering what that is, when the camera just wiggles and then I jump from a wall run. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Alright, so we're gonna use our new upgrade again. It's very pointless. I don't know why they've just put stuff like that around the map, but gadgets and stuff, I guess. I'm gonna swing on this pole and immediately look left, which will let me climb on the wall. Then I can skip a little bit of platforming to the left by just running over there and jumping. Here's another skip. You're not supposed to do this, but you can climb on that and skip one whole level of running around inside. 2 failed bunny hops, not good. Now we can do a ledge board here and spam crouch, and if we do it correctly, it will give us enough of a height boost to grab this thing here. There we go.
Yeah, well done. Head for the roof. I got a ride waiting for you.
So that was an override trigger, and we just skipped like pretty much all of the mission.
Almost done. Almost won't cut it.
Now we're just heading to the end of it.
Alright, sit tight while I get this moving.
Much like the first level in Mirror's Edge with the helicopter, if you go too fast here, you can't grab this. So you just have to slow down a bit.
Hang on while I turn this thing.
And now Icarus is a pro crane driver, even though we left him stuck. So
Yeah, it seems I got the basics.
I guess he's good at everything.
Alright, go deal
Here's
with
another
the
skip that was found by accident by Sasuke. Because apparently the design of this level wasn't very intuitive, and he ended up here out of bounds and thought this was the actual way to go during his first casual playthrough. This wall is a bit finicky to actually get on. This pole you can only climb from halfway up, so you have to jump into it. And then this thing you have to like slide along and make sure she grabs it. So you can grab that pole and do another skip. Here I'm gonna try another skip. Did the quick turn thingy that I talked about earlier. I'm gonna use a ledge board to get up on this thing. And then the quick turn thingy again and a crouch to get up there. There's a small ledge here you can get to, which will allow you to jump up here. And just skips a big level of running around at the top. And that's that. We'll go back down to Rebecca. And now, remember at the start I grabbed that side mission that didn't look worth it at all?
So,
This is where that mission actually has a use, so we're gonna warp to it. It's called the metagrid.
You there?
This is the glitch that we didn't know how it worked, and then one of the devs explained it to us, which was really nice of him.
They did.
Damn.
Although
They put up one of
it was because we donated to his charity marathon, so still, I'm sure he would have done it even if we didn't. Anyway, we're gonna start this mission. And when we load in, the mission doesn't start until we touch that red blob. So we're not going to touch the red blob, and we're going to kill ourselves. Now when we spawn, there's no blob. And what we're going to do is now the game is stuck looking for a mission start, which will happen by animation. So if the game thinks there's a mission start nearby that starts with an animation, we'll get pulled into the animation if it's within our radius, which is like a massive circle basically. It doesn't work for missions you've already done and stuff like that, so we can freely load the first mission, which will place us back in the hub where we need to be, which is near a mission start. So we'll just get pulled right up through the floor to where we need to be. And it skips having to fight the people around it. You can just pull it out straight away. I like to call it a wrong warp, even though it's definitely not. So. It's a really cool skip. Is the speedrun ASMR? If you want it to be. It can be anything you want. Now we're just running down here because that ladder we went up before is also a safe house for some reason. If you go on that ladder while you're being chased, you'll just lose them immediately. Those are some good bunny hops. And now we're going to do some fighting in a bit, so I'll grab these. And we are going to Black November to talk to Isabel Kruger.
The news of Noah's unfortunate demise has been greatly exaggerated.
What?
I can't confirm it, and if he is alive, Kruger said probably.
So at this point, the big bad Dogen guy is like, "Oh yeah, your mentor's not dead, by the way. He's just underground in a facility." So we're gonna go see his daughter that we kidnapped. This is her.
Disappointed? I don't care either way.
And we want her to tell us where he is.
Faith, you there?
She doesn't know. So now we are going to teleport here. There's a very low chance the game will crash. If it does, not really a big deal. I can just restart it, I guess. We're fine though.
And I think it's time we left Black November. Rebecca's getting scarier by the day. I heard she had a traitor shot over the conduit.
So now we're just going to run to a big data sleuth so we can look through it and find out where our friend is, pretty much. For some reason when you come out of here, the game will just make you do a wall run without pressing anything, so it's kind of useful for us because we can just use these mag ropes instead of doing whatever in this room. I'm gonna kick through this hole because I like doing it and it's fun. I don't think it's faster at all.
Did you know that reflection is a fluid that you inject? It's full of nanites that merge with your body.
So now we just have a pretty long running section with not much in it.
Permanently. I guess that's what they mean about become the grid. What's safe? You can let it be.
Just gonna be running for a while. If you have donations.
No, but I would just like to remind everyone that we are raising money towards the same charity that ESA Summer 2019 will be donating, raising towards. And we already got $761, and if you go to speedrun.com/Hek19, you'll see all the Beat Wars and all the incentives we have for your donations. So if you want to see more speed games being run for some of the incentives, please donate. And yeah, we're still running for tomorrow and I guess a bit into the night as well for at least European users.
Yeah. So donate money if you have spare money, I guess. Much appreciated. The money will be pinged right back to ESA when the event happens. Like, you donate it to us and then we donate it to them.
Plastic. I'm at the waypoint.
That's how that works.
Wait a second, and that's it. There's already a VTOL patrolling near you. I'm having them respond to a policy breach.
So there's a thing here you can do. I'll try and do it, but I might just die, because...
It should arrive any second now. Get
Yeah.
safe. It's there. You need to catch it.
You can get on top of this building to skip going through it. It's not really a time save, because you have to wait at the end for the VTOL anyway, but it would just make sure you get there before the VTOL does, because sometimes it can beat you.
Stay on the VTOL. They should be stopping somewhere.
Now I'm running after a helicopter, basically. And it's going to give me a ride to where I want to go. Try and get a big boost here. Not very big. I tried there. Bob Ross of Mirror's Edge. Happy little accidents. So we did actually end up being faster than the VTOL, which is nice. There's a bit of a loading issue there. There's supposed to be like a handrail, but it didn't load fast enough. And I got there before it loaded, so I just walked straight through it. Now I'm going to reload checkpoint because it'll place me further in the level. And now we're just going to like descend an elevator shaft instead of climbing one. But we're going to do that by just taking a death right here instead of climbing all the way down. And when the loading screen's done, we are so far down now that we can just go here and ride this down to the bottom. I'm going to jump off a bit early and try and use the door to break my fall so I don't die. Okay. I jumped off too late anyway, so I didn't actually die.
What next?
If I jumped a bit earlier and I didn't manage to kick the door like I just did, I would have died, so that's lucky. Here they want you to take an elevator there like a scenic route, but again, there's a checkpoint at the bottom, you can just die. So. This one's not as long of a load screen because you're right next to it. And now we are in the memory banks of the place. Server stack. I'm going to skip all of the stuff around here too by just jumping onto this and rolling. And then going down this pole. If you press E more than once here, it kind of freaks out and you press it 3 times instead of once. So it's like the only place in the run you don't want to spam the interaction key. Yeah, I heard it was based on EA's CEO, but
I'm at the lobby.
I wasn't sure if that was actually confirmed. So now I have to defeat everyone here, which I'm going to do by wall climbing and then kicking from above, because that's how I do the most damage. That is interesting. I have never kicked someone like that before. So if you run up a wall and you get shot or something, it will actually just cancel out any attack you do after that. I know there's the big bad guy, and that means the train is on its way, so I'm just gonna have to wait until it gets here. And this big bad guy has no brains, so if I go up here he's just gonna get confused and stand above me. So I'm just gonna hear the train make a noise and then I'll go off to it. There it is. And then we'll wait here. This white screen here is dependent on your frame rate. So higher frame rates, faster white screen, and as a result of that we take it out of the run. We just manually remove it. So now we are going to Dogen again. Yeah, they tried to do the knocking them out of the way as you run. That's what the light attacks are for. But a lot of the time you actually have to neutralize someone instead of just pushing them out of the way. So we'll abort that mission, come down here to Dogen.
Get out of my sight before I cut you up for stew.
And we'll watch him get angry.
Do you have the blueprint?
No.
He shouts a bit, I guess.
I need a favor.
And a new home, from what I hear.
He needs a favor.
Do you also find...
Alright, what do we do next? I totally remember, promise. Talk to Cat. Okay, let's do that. And at this point, massive plot twist. In the first game, you had a sister. In this game, you didn't, which was kind of suspicious already. But now you find out that Gabriel Kruger, the guy you've been fighting with, has a daughter. And she's adopted. And she's your sister, so... Oh my god, plot thickens. So now we have the location of where our old leader is, and we're gonna try to go save him.
I'm ready. Let's go.
He wants to come with us, and we're saying, go away. We don't like you. So he just gets a bit emo and cries down there. So I'm going to try to jump off here and take a heavy landing to make me fall onto this thing. There we go. That's a tiny little skip. Not even a skip really, it's just a optimization. This is my favourite level in the game, even though there's like barely anything to it. I just love fast linear stuff with nothing interrupting you, and that's what this level is. So, right now we are making our way into the facility. You would be able to skip this whole thing, but there's a mandatory checkpoint right here on this zipline kinda, and then you have to hit this one too. Oops. We have a way to like get to the end of this level already, but we can't trigger anything because we can't hit the first one as well. So if any of you have like massive brains and you want to find skips in this game, there's still a lot of stuff unexplored. Now we're just gonna run past these guys because killing them is pretty slow.
Right, so Anonymous donated $39, which brought our total to exactly $800. Commenting, great Mirror's Edge Catalyst speed. I agree.
Thank you, Anonymous. If Anonymous was an accident, feel free to name yourself in chat, and that'd be great. Because I know I've donated stuff in the past and I've put it as Anonymous by accident. I knew everyone's gonna put it was me. Well, there's a Eileen. I forgot why she's here and what she means to us, but there's something there. Here's a really cool skip, utilizing the kick thing that we have. If we kick here, we can get out of bounds. And now we're on top of the level. And if I drop down here and turn, I can clip my butt through the wall to hit the next checkpoint, like that. Which will enable the end level checkpoint right here. And I can just do a corner wall climb to make sure I don't die. And that'll put me at the end of the level. Physics, yeah. It's I'm not quite sure what happens to the hitbox when you do it, but it shrinks and you can go through walls if there's something under it. This turret here is like really persistent and it will keep shooting unless we crouch here. And on very rare occasions it will actually just shoot you through the floor anyway when you're high enough up. So if I die randomly like that, okay, yeah, that can happen. You can die like going up the elevator. 100 FPS too low. I actually capped it to 100. It usually goes to like 200-ish. And that's the end of that mission. By the way, the mentor we went there to rescue, he died, so rip him. Yeah, I can uncap the FPS. There you go. Enjoy some frames. What am I doing now? Talking to Durgan. Okay, let's do that.
Faith, it's time you paid me a visit, don't you think? We have much to discuss.
Yeah, he was really important to us, but you know. It wasn't meant to be. So now we're gonna run to the big bad guy that's not a big bad guy.
Celebrity visit.
You gonna break my legs
Yeah,
now?
they electrocuted
Might
him.
as well get it over with.
You should finish what you started. Then I can have your legs broken, if you want.
There's nothing to finish!
Nothing to finish. Let's go see Plastic. Where is Plastic? No, we're not seeing Plastic. I have totally forgotten where I need to go. I think I stopped Prisoner X.
Faith needs guidance to Gabriel Kruger's apartment in the view.
Butter. Voice like butter.
Plastic, I'm at the waypoint.
Alright. Prisoner X. Yeah, I got it. Thank you there. Seems like CPU encoding that I'm using is ruining my frames. So instead of doing this mission again, we're gonna abort it by running away from it. He's just a dude. I'm gonna try and do a strat here that's like pretty cool looking, but it's not very consistent. And I died, so that's why you don't do that. I would have liked to show it off, but who cares? I'm kind of busy. Can you come back?
That runner. You're where you shouldn't be, Leech. Prepare to submit. Got that one of these.
Yeah. 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 Oops. That was me mum. We're a bit behind schedule, so at that time I did say I would have been busy. It was about 2 hours ago, so she didn't know. Anyway, now we're breaking into Gabriel Kruger's own house, and we're gonna data mine his computer. Or something, I don't know. We're doing something with his computer. Oh, we're tunneling into the train network so we can take control of the trains and get to the shard.
From there, you should be able to access Kruger's lobby if the schematics are correct.
Let's make him.
Don't get killed. Kuma will miss you.
And remember, top floor,
Oh,
then main.
I didn't turn the camera. That's not good. Yeah, show mums love. Respect your mothers. I love my mother, you should love yours.
When you're through, you need to go all the way down again. From there, you should be able to reach the lobby.
The guards in Kruger's apartment are reacting to the commotion in the museum. Looks like they plan to intercept you in the lobby.
Let them try.
Did I mute myself? No, I didn't.
Nope.
No. Because I did tab out to do that, and then I wasn't sure if I actually did it.
Faith, are you in the main elevator?
Didn't seem to be any other options.
Okay, it seems you're in the clear. For now.
My mother will never be in a Twitch chat.
And Kruger still has no clue why I'm here anyway.
I hope.
At least not yet. And Plastic thinks she can tunnel into the system and download the grid print without him noticing.
I know I can.
Alright, so we're making our way to his PC. This is his apartment. Very fancy indeed. Don't want to look at it though.
Place the shotgun and I'll copy the grid print to it.
Shotgun in place. Connecting.
We got it. Now get out of there.
I don't know what we got, but we got it.
Wherever I turn,
But he's seen us. Been caught.
I should have recognized you from the first time.
Faith, the explosion messed up the security system. I got the terrace door open.
So now we're just gonna escape pretty much.
There are several drones around. Maybe you could ride one of those down.
This thing will just pull you to it when you get close enough, so you can do whatever you feel like doing. Next we go to Plastic. So the 2 missions left now, so looks like I'm gonna be pretty underestimate. Should be like a 140-ish RTA. Did people like this game? A lot of people did.
Sorry.
A lot of people didn't. It's just a bit of preference.
Can be a bit uncomfortable.
Right, and now we go back to the hub, and we do probably the worst mission in the game. I like both the games. I think that's pretty fair. One more than the other, but I do like them both. So now we're making our way to tickets please, and we're gonna have to climb these things that are really broken and just completely buggy. Sometimes when you climb them you just fall through the map, so we're not even gonna bother pulling them out, we're just gonna kinda like use the collision of the fold up ones instead of pulling them, just to exploit our way up so we don't fall through them.
I'm there. Connecting you.
Though unfortunately at the second hub you can't do that.
I'm gone.
But since I didn't die, I can attempt a really cool fan boost over here.
Nobody ever appreciates the complexity of what I'm doing.
See if we can get a fast one. Nice. Would have been better if I just ran, probably. Bunny hops in this game, I forgot to mention, you can't use the scroll wheel for them. So that 3-frame window you have to use spacebar. What I just did there when I went backwards, as soon as I spawned in the enemies I went back, and that meant they weren't in my radius anymore, and then the game despawned them. So there should be enemies here shooting at me, but
I'm at the second hub. Connecting.
I Thanos clicked them and they're gone.
Move on to the last one.
Got it.
If I make this one here on a good enough cycle, I can get like a really fast climb up. Which I don't usually make very often, but oh, I made it. There we go. Don't have to pull any of those out, you can just climb straight up using the collision of the folded object instead.
I have full access. Train's on fine. Now you should have no trouble getting to the shard.
We're gonna go to the left here instead of the way we came through.
Lots of things.
Because there's a chance to do a big boost on a sign.
Stay off the grid for a while. Everything I do leaves a trace, and sooner or
It's
later
kind of
the
fast,
Watch
but
will catch on.
I messed it up.
They are stupid.
Thank you for that big. Thank you for the quick spoiler purge. So that's the end of that mission. Now we are on to the final mission of the game. So we go back to Plastic and she'll tell us to do something else. Oh yeah, there's the robot. He's called Kuma. And the person that lives here tries to communicate through Kuma. She like talks in, what would you say, like fourth person? She's like talking about someone else in third person, but referring to herself? I don't know. It's all a bit special. Hello, Raven. So now we're taking this tunnel again for the last time. This is the last time you'll ever see the open world until you finish the game.
We've got a train prepped and ready for you, Faith. Head to the Zephyr Transit Hub and get on board.
But yeah. As far as I know, there's 3 parts of this game that pay homage to the first game, which is the prologue room at the beginning of the game, something in the art gallery, and then this train ride right here. Alright, I'm sorry, Pigeon. Kuma is his own person.
It'll mess a lot of things up if we don't stop it. Not the
Oh yeah, there's some pretty epic parkour moves in this game. I'll show one of them off here. Never mind, it's disabled while on the train, so sorry, I lied to you again. Right, so at this part, they wanted us to like follow the red things and not fall through the floor, but we can just do big brain boys and walk on the beam like a normal person. Gotta crouch here to avoid getting shot. You won't die, but the sound of it's annoying. It's like a little fart sound.
What can I expect at
Like,
the top?
Expect the control chamber to have some sort of security in place. We've been unable to find its parameters, so you should assume the worst.
Wish I could be there with you. Figured I'd drop in on the party. Glad to see you're doing good.
I don't know how to do the right Easter egg. I think it just comes by itself or something. I'm sorry. If I knew how to do it, I would go back and do it for you, but I don't.
It's chilly up here.
That's due to the change in air density. I just looked.
Alright, so
Oxygen content will go down as well, but
there's going to be about 2 minutes of downtime towards the end of the run. And I'm going to use that to do a question and answer with the chat. So if you want to ask me something, think of a question now and I'll tell you when to type it.
Oh, that's a big fan.
You should be able to ride it with the blade side. Use the mag to attach to it and just...
This is great!
Wow, that was just fantastic. Haha.
I've reached the top.
their firewalls are a joke.
What is the meaning of life? Isn't it like 42 or something? Alright, so we're just gonna climb these pipes. Pretty underwhelming, but something funny is gonna happen soon, I promise. Well, depends on your type of humor, I guess. If you find broken things funny, then something funny will happen.
I've reached some sort of atrium.
I lied. I lie a lot, I'm sorry.
I've seen this many trees before. It's beautiful here.
Alright, so I'm going to be climbing in here and then doing one more thing and then I'll answer questions. If anyone actually has any.
The rest of the city could use a bit more of this.
Use the vent at the top. We'll lose contact for a bit again.
Right, so this pole here is broke. So if you get on this pole and then you climb to the swing pole and jump back onto it really fast, the game doesn't know what's going on and you're just stuck infinitely climbing. And you do this for about 2 minutes, so ask away and I'll answer some stuff. What kind of major differences in speed tech? There's not much really. This game just handles it differently. Like it's still wall boosts and bunny hopping and stuff like that. Do I speedrun a game because I like it or because I like speedrunning it? If I like a game, I'll usually have a go at speedrunning it. And I'll keep speedrunning it if I like the speedrun. If that makes sense. There's a few games that I didn't like playing casually, but I liked the speedrun of. Like Outlast and stuff. What big supermarket do I prefer? Asda. Does Faith sweat a lot? Probably. I would imagine so. Where is Mr. Warris? He did a run like 2 hours ago. He probably missed it. Do I drink tea? No, I don't like hot drinks. That's Walmart for the cake owners. Yeah. Asda is owned by Walmart. It's a beneficiary, I think. Alright, so basically we're heading for that helipad, and that's the end level trigger of the game, so get ready on time as soon as I break the door down.
Gotcha.
It's my favorite game to watch a speedrun of. Ooh. Not sure. Probably Mirror's Edge or something. Do I like snow clones? Never had one. Q&A is over, and so is the run now time.
Right, you got 1 hour, 40 minutes, 40 seconds.
That's not bad.
Nope, we're underestimated.
Yeah. And now you just fight your sister for a while, so... I'll leave this playing and feel free to cut me off whenever, but thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks Heki. Last year you were doing my run, and this year I got to do yours.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Battle Block Theater, any percent NLS co-op weapons normal by Shafurni and Sajiki.